everyone, and welcome to Open. I'm Rhina Valentin, your host of Café con Leche for the next hour, encouraging you to get social with us online. That is, tweet us and follow us on Instagram at BronxNet TV and like us on Facebook at Open BronxNet Television. And of course, while you're there, you can follow moi on Twitter, FB, Instagram, Insta Stories, LinkedIn at Rhina Valentin. Our first guest is a transformational speaker and coach who believes that everyone has the power to harness the natural laws of the universe to overcome challenges, manifest opportunities, and create meaningful relationships. Through her book, The Family Guide to the Law of Attraction, she breaks down her signature methods of manifestation for children up to adulthood. And joining us to tell us more, please welcome Arthur Mary Petto. Hello, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me today.
Well, thank you for being here with us, and thank you for sharing your knowledge with the world, right? I mean, this is like, I want to say our natural born given talents that we are not taught at a young age to utilize. And so I love that you're teaching the next generation on these abilities.
Yes. And, you know, my start in this field was very, it was all about me, right? What can I manifest? How do I make this work? Evolving it to an easy way to describe it, helping other people like me, my fellow adults. But over time, I got more and more requests to work with people's kids. And I have kids of my own, and I saw their struggles. And I also got to see them light up when they saw their power at work. And, you know, it just led me to this place where I know that if a child is set up to understand that with their mindset and their energetic intention, that vibrational energy, they really can transform their situations and little outcomes as well as big ones. And there's nothing more empowering that could then take them into their adulthood to thrive.
So let's just go from the very beginning for anyone who may not be familiar with these abilities that I opened up with in reference with regards to the law of attraction, let's say, right? So how about we define what the law of attraction is first for our viewers?
Sure. Yeah, so the law of attraction is a natural law of the universe that says that what we experience is a result of the nature of our thoughts and the energy that we are existing in. So what we think about, we bring about. What we focus on expands. So our experiences are a reflection of where our mind is and our thoughts are.
And so just to piggyback
and so,
off
you know, with that,
sorry, there's a little delay between our connection, but it's okay. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. You were saying?
So when we recognize that that is the way this works, it's a little neuroscience, right? Our brains, and a little quantum physics, that vibrational field. When you learn this, you understand that you have the power to control those outcomes. And while not everybody knows about it, it's always happening. Whether we believe it or don't believe it, it's always happening. So that's why you might know people that are always down on their luck, one step forward, two steps back. It's kind of where their focus is. And there are lots of people in this world living extraordinary lives, just getting whatever it is that they want. And that is by the nature of their attitude and their thought process.
And so to simplify that, right, just to simplify that, what you think you create within your physical form. So whatever it is that you're harboring internally manifests itself in your external world. And thank you for breaking it down for us. And that's a pretty profound thing to share, especially when dealing with the young individuals. I understand that you begin developing this ability with kids from the age of 9. And so, and of course, your book is titled The Family Guide to the Law of Attraction, which is beautiful because now it becomes a cultural thing within a household. But how do you how do you penetrate that generation into even having interest in understanding the concept?
I liken it to, sort of the common culture of this Harry Potter culture of, abracadabra. As a matter of fact, abracadabra, actually, it's derived from the phrase, I said it, so it shall be. And, that has, you can make that akin to affirmations, and that helps you get in alignment. Meditation, so that you're visualizing these outcomes. We can even work with small kids, and, this is kind of the family contribution to this. Even younger kids, you can start to play with energy. As a matter of fact, in the book, we start with some energy experiments, so you can see the result of focusing on a particular thought and seeing the results back. And you can play with energy in that you can see the results of pushing negative energy or positive energy toward an object. And so when you start to work with that kind of energy stuff, even in young children, they get raised with this understanding that keeping their mindset on track really is a magical experience. And so by the time they're in fourth grade or later, they can make this work to their benefit consciously.
So, right, consciously and mindfully, right? Yeah, I mean, you can even experiment it on something as simple as water, right? Because it's a mindfulness that you're, and so when it comes to the next generation who needs it so much right now. I mean, and when I say the next generation, I mean the next generation, because I kind of struggle with my age. I'm like, I live a little in denial there, but however, really, it's just this particular era that we've just had to endure for the past year of the children having to just socialize virtually and pretty much become responsible adults. I mean, there's even though the parents, such as myself, took on these roles of being like side teachers, in essence, they had to operate independently. And so that, especially like my daughter's 11 years old and they're going through enough as it is. And so there's this underlying feeling that exists there based on being thrown into this fire. And so they really need this kind of work now. So how are you communicating it?
So I have my book, I have a website, and I have created a program to bring to schools, middle schools, high schools, and even college, which will sort of at once show the power, but also entertain. And, one of the reasons, in Psychology Today magazine, there was an article that described that anxiety and depression is very often in young people a result of not feeling like they have control over their situation. And, while so many of us want to change something in our lives or feel victims of our circumstances, right? Deep in our hearts as adults, we know that we could change things if we wanted. We could leave the bad relationship. We could leave the job. We know that deep down, it's not easy. I'm not saying it is. And manifesting something wonderful is still very much within our power. But kids don't have the benefit of feeling like they can make those kinds of choices. So they have their environments thrust upon them. At school, COVID is a whole nother thing, but even in a healthy non-COVID world, you're put in the classrooms that you're told, you get in the teacher that you're told, you're sat where you're told to sit, that's your permanent seat assignment, the list goes on. And so by understanding and taking something like the law of attraction or the law of vibration, as it's also known, and watching, even within the book, I have examples, real life examples of kids, fourth graders, high schoolers, plus single moms and other adults, overnight success, changing situations that they never would have imagined could have changed overnight. And so when, and we learn by example, right? It's not possible until we believe it. So putting all these programs together, putting the book together, pounding the pavement, standing on my soapbox saying, hey, you've got this within you. Every single person. There are no exceptions.
Exactly.
No exception.
Exactly.
This
That's
is
what
how
I'm
we do.
saying. I'm on that same train with you, and thank you for bringing it here to our viewers. Mary Petto, everyone, thank you so much for sharing all that knowledge. And once again, you guys, Mary Petto is the family guide to the law of attraction. That can be found on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and if you're interested in a consultation on manifestation, you can visit portablevisions.com. All right, we got to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll hear about a woman who is creating crystal jewelry to help people heal and manifest their desires. Don't go anywhere.